Yes, in the last class, we started our discussion related to polymorphism. What is polymorphism? If one object is exhibiting multiple behaviors based on the situation, then it is called as polymorphism. If an object is exhibiting multiple behaviors based on the situation, then it is called as polymorphism. Right. Polymorphism is divided into two types. One is static polymorphism, second one is dynamic polymorphism. Static polymorphism, also called as compile time polymorphism. Dynamic polymorphism is called as runtime polymorphism. Overloading is the example for static polymorphism. Overriding is the example for dynamic polymorphism. Then we are talking about method overloading. What is method overloading? The process of writing more than one method with the same name and different parameters is called as overloading. See here, add method int I comma into j. Again I have add method I comma j comma k. So name is the same but parameters are different. Within the same class, if you write more than one method with the same name and different parameters, then it is called as method overloading. When we need to go for method overloading, when methods are performing same operation, then we should give same name, hence it will improve code readability. If two methods are doing same operation in the same class, then you should give the same name, then readability will be improved. Anyone anybody who look into your class, they can understand these two methods are doing the same operation because names are same. Now, if you don't use same name, then people will get confused. So these two methods are doing same operation or different operation, they will get confused. That's why we will keep the same name. We have seen substring method. It can take one int parameter, it can take two int parameters. Can I call it as overloading? Yes, string class having two methods with the same name, different parameters, it is called overloading. When we go for overloading, at the compilation level only, it will decide the object should call first method or second method. Object here, calculator object I have created, c dot add. C dot add with two parameters, C dot add with three parameters. Here only it is going to decide. Here only it is going to decide whether it should call the first method or it should call the second method. That as the decision is taking at the compilation level, it is called as compile time polymorphism. The object is taking a decision when to call the method. So when the code is getting compiled, here only it will decide whether it has to call the first method or it has to call the second method. As the decision it is taking at the compilation time, it is called as compile time polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism. Are you clear with this one? Yes. Next one, the next concept is method overriding. The next concept is method overriding. The process of writing same methods in the parent class and in child class is called as method overriding. The process of writing same methods in parent class and child class is called as method overriding. Now, if you take an example, class parent. In the parent class we have M1 method. In the parent class we have M1 method. There is some logic. Parent class having M1 method. In this M1 method, Parent is having some logic. Now I'm going to create one class called child. Class child extends parent. Class child extends parent. In the child class also I am writing M1 method. In the child class also I am writing M1 method. Now inside this child class I am writing a main method, public static void main string arguments. Public static void main string arguments. We will create object for parent or we will create object for the child. Why we will create object for the child? Why we will create object for the child? If we create the object for the child methods we can access and parent methods also we can access. Now child C is equal to new child. Child C is equal to new child C dot M1. I'm calling C dot M1. We know how the methods will be executed in the inheritance. What is the method execution order? First it is going to check child C is equal to new child. Child C is equal to new child C dot M1. What is C? C is a reference variable holding child class object. C is a reference variable holding child class object. It will check M1 method available in child class or not. It will check M1 method is available in the child class or not. Yes, in the child class we are having M1 method. So it is going to call child class M1 method. Will it go for parent class or will not go for parent class? It will not go for parent class. It will not go for parent class. Now, can I say in the parent class, in the child class, same methods are available? Yes, in the parent class and in the child class, same methods are available. So priority will be given for which method? Priority will be given for child class method. If you write same method in the parent class and in the child class, then it is called as method overriding. What is the difference between overloading and overriding? What is the difference between loading and riding? Loading means writing the same method with different parameters in the same class is called as overloading. What is overriding? Writing same methods in the parent class and in the child class. Same name, same parameters. Same name, same parameter. If you write the same method in the parent class and in the child class, then it is called as overriding. We already discussed this yesterday. If I write the same method in the child and parent, always priority will be given to child method. Are you guys getting my point? Now we understood why to go for overloading. Why to go for overloading? If two methods are performing the same operation, then you will go for overloading so that readability will be improved. When somebody look into your class, they can understand these two methods are doing the same operation. These two methods are doing the same operation. Now, why to go for overriding? Why to go for overriding? Why to write the same method in the parent class and in the child class? No. Why to write it? Simple, simple, simple. After getting the job, general example. After you got the job, after 2 to 3 years completed, your parents wants to you marriage. Okay? Your parents finding one girl in your relatives. They call you one fine day, beta, garajana, you need to marry that girl. Then what you will tell? No, Papa, I have a girlfriend. Yes or no? Your parents are doing some operation for you. When you don't like your parent decision, then you will go for your own decision. Parents are having one method. I don't like my parent method implementation. I want to go for my own implementation. Then you will go for method overriding. Understood? Yes. When to go for method overriding? When we don't like our parents are having one method. Parents are having one method. My parents wants me to marry to one girl. I don't like my parent decision. In this particular scenario, I don't like my parent decision. I want to marry my girlfriend. So whatever they are deciding, I don't want to follow their implementation. In this scenario, I want to go for my own implementation. Then you will go for overriding. When you don't want to execute parent method, you want to execute your own logic, then you will go for overriding. Can you tell me what is overriding? Yeah, the process of writing same methods in parent class and child class is called as method overloading, method overriding, overriding. When we don't want to execute, when we don't want to execute parent methods, parent method implementation, when we don't want to execute parent method implementation, then we can go for our own implementation, our own implementation using, then we can write our own implementation in child class using method overriding. Read the statement clearly. When we don't want to execute parent method implementation, then we can write our own implementation in child class using method overriding. Are you guys getting my point? Now, if I am writing same method in the parent class and child class, I am calling c.m1. Will it decide at the compile time which method to be called, or it will decide in the runtime? It is going to decide in the runtime whether it has to call child class m1 method or it has to call parent class m1 method. The object will take the decision which method to be called in the runtime. That's why it is called as runtime polymorphism, because the method is available in the child class, the method is available in the parent class. Same method, same signature, same name, same parameter. Whenever you run the program, then object will decide this method should be called in the child class or in the parent class. As it is taking the decision in the runtime, this is called runtime polymorphism, or we can call dynamic polymorphism. Able to follow this? Yes. What is overriding? Writing the same method in the parent class and in the child class is called as method overriding. Got my point? Yes. Now let us make one example on this. Let us make one example. New, क्या? We are overriding that. I will come to that. I will come to that point. Yeah. Guys, let us see one class called demo. Let us see one class called demo dot. Let me go for IDE. I want to go for reusability. I want to call the parent class methods when I don't have it. but all the times we don't want to go for parents. Some special scenarios I want to execute my own logic, then we will go for overriding. Yeah, let me take one example on this. Yeah, okay, I'm creating a class with a name called child. I'm creating a class with a name called child. Inside this class, I'm writing another class for parent. Okay, parent void m1. So system dot out dot println parent class m1 called. Parent class m1 method called. Now I'm going for child class void m1. So here I'm typing system dot out dot println child class m1 called. Child class m1 called. Here I am writing main method to create the object and to call the methods. So class child extends from parent. Child class is extending the properties from parent. Now I want to create the object and I want to call the methods. When we go for inheritance, priority will be given for which object? Child object. I'm going to create the object for child class. Child C is equal to new child. Child C is equal to new child. I'm taking C dot M1. Now, am I executing my parent class method? Am I executing my child class method? I'm executing my child class method. I'm calling C dot M1, but it is going to decide at the compile time or at the runtime. Runtime. C is what? C is a child class object variable. It will check in the child class. If M1 method available in the child class M1 will be called. If a child class does not have the M1, it will go and call the parent class M1 method. But in this scenario, I want to go for reusability. Parent class methods I want to call. But in some special scenarios, I don't want to execute my parent method. I want to override the parent method. Whatever the method is available in the parent, I don't want to execute. I want to go for my own method implementation. Then you will go for overriding. Run this program. Run this program. Okay. Now see which class method is executing? Child class method. Why child class method executing? Why not parent class method? Because we are overriding that. We are overriding that. Now let us take a simple example. Let me take one more example. Now here I'm taking one class called bank. I'm taking one class called SBI bank. I'm taking a class called SBI Bank. Now, SBI Bank is State Bank of India. Similar to SBI, there is a Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank. So many banks are available in the India. All these banks should follow RBI rules. Is that right? Reserve Bank of India is available. RBI will decide the rules for all the banks. Now we are going for RBI bank. Class RBI bank is available. Class RBI bank is available. RBI bank is deciding some rules. Okay. Now here double home loan RI, that is home loan rate of interest. Home loan rate of interest is available. They told that home loan rate of interest should be 10.85. They told home loan rate of interest should be 10.85, and they decided that double personal loan rate of interest. personal loan rate of interest. Personal loan rate of interest, they told that 11.65 percentage. Okay, guys. So as per RBI, they decided that home loan rate of interest should be 10.85 per home loan. Yeah, let me follow the syntax. Yeah, home loan rate of interest, personal loan rate of interest. Now, home loan rate of interest they are giving as 10.85. Personal loan rate of interest they are giving 11.65. That is the rule they decided that. But do you think that all the banks are following the same? All the banks are following the same. Now, private banks available, HDFC Bank is there, Axis Bank is there. They will tell that if we follow RBI rules, we can't run the bank. Okay, we can give the loan for their rate of interest. We have our own rate of interest. HDFC Bank, SBI Bank, Axis, all are acting as a child for the RBI. RBI is a Reserve Bank of India. That is the main bank in the India. So all the banks should follow. All the banks should inherit the properties from the RBI. So banks are following RBI properties. They are inheriting, but due to their business condition, some properties they can't follow. They have their own implementation. So now, if I go for SBI, if I want to give the loan, personal loan, I can't go for 11.65. Okay, I want to give for 12.5 rate of interest. Should I follow my parent rate of interest, or I need to decide my own rate of interest? My own rate of interest, because of my business conditions, because of my customer conditions, I cannot go for 11.65, which is decided by RBI. Some banks will follow, some banks will not follow. Simple. In the class, how many people will listen to your parents will go for arranged marriage? Parents will tell to go for arranged marriage. Some people will accept. Come on, man. Some people will accept, some people will not accept. Some people will accept it, some people will not accept it. Parents matlab, they will tell that beta you have to go for arranged marriage. Some people will accept it, some people choose they on their own. For some people parents will decide the girl, for some people you will decide on your own. Similarly, bank also deciding some rate of interest. RBI bank is deciding some rate of interest. Some banks will follow, some banks don't want to follow. When the bank don't want to follow parent method implementation, what they will do? They will override the method and they will write their own implementation. The process of writing the same method in the parent class and in the child class is called as overriding. Why we need to go for that overriding? When we don't want to execute parent method implementation, then we will go for overriding. Now, every bank should follow RBI principle. Every bank should follow RBI principle. Here, Boolean check eligibility. Boolean check eligibility. Here, some logic will be available. Return true. Okay, documents verification logic. Documents verification logic. RBI people told that when we are giving a loan, what are the documents we need to verify? His educational details, his income details, his Aadhaar card, his PAN card, his property, everything we have to verify. So when you go for SBI bank, they will follow RBI rules to verify the documents. Document verification is the same. So to verify the documents, my parent already having a logic. I don't want to touch that because I want to follow the same process. If I follow the same process, there is no loss for me. If I follow the same process, there is no loss for me. But rate of interest, if I follow this rate of interest, there is a loss. I can't run my bank with their rate of interest. That's why in some methods I want to call from my parent, some methods I don't want to call from my parent. I don't like my parent implementation. With respect to documents verification, that is fine. There is no loss. But with respect to rate of interest, there is a loss for me. In that scenario, I don't want to execute my parent method. I want to reuse parent properties. I want to go for inheritance. HDFC Bank want to follow RBI rules. Axis Bank want to follow RBI rules, but not every rule. Some rules I will follow, some rules I don't want to follow because of my business conditions. Are you guys getting my point? Now, RBI Bank is having a method called check eligibility. It is having a logic to verify documents. Having the logic to verify documents. Return true. They will check some documents and they will return true or false. If a customer is eligible, that method will return true. If a customer is not eligible, it will return false value. Then home loan rate of interest, they are giving 10.85. Personal loan rate of interest, they are giving for 11.65. But SBI Bank is there. SBI Bank want to go for loan, get home loan, public string, get home loan, public string, get home loan. In order to get the home loan, what I need to do? I need to call documents verification. In order to get the home loan, I need to verify documents. So what is that? Check. What is that method? Extends RBI Bank. Now, parent class method can be called in the child class directly. Yes or no? Child class can directly access parent class method. Child class methods can directly access parent class methods. Now, if I call home loan rate of interest, what rate of interest I will get? Simple, man. I'm writing one method called get home loan. I'm writing or else apply home loan. I'm writing one method called apply home loan. When a person apply for a home loan, what directly bank will give the home loan? By I take this money and go? No, what they will do? They will verify the documents. So to verify the documents, there is a method called check eligibility. So am I writing my own method? Am I calling my parent method? I'm calling my parent method because reusability. Already RBI Bank having some logic to verify the documents. I will just call my parent method. So based on this status, it will give true or false. If it is true, then that means that person is eligible for the loan. If it is true, can I say that person is eligible? Yes. Else, what is the meaning of else? Not eligible. Okay. If the person is eligible, do I need to tell the rate of interest or I no need to tell the rate of interest? If it is eligible, you simple, man, you came for a bank, you applied for a house loan, you applied for a home loan today. Then after 2 days, when you come back, I will tell you, boss, your application rejected. You are not eligible for the home loan as per RBI rules. As per RBI rules, you are not eligible. Today, later point of time, she came for the home loan application. She applied. After 2 days, I told that your application approved as per RBI. You will get a home loan with a rate of interest 12.5. So if you want to take a home loan, as per your documents, you are eligible, but rate of interest is 12.5. Are you guys getting my point? So here, when you apply for a home loan, first what they are checking? Eligibility. Eligibility checking is our logic or it is parent method. Parent method. Why parent method? Reusability. Already RBI having the logic to verify. Why should I do once again the verification? RBI already doing that. I am very much satisfied with their verification. If they verify, if they decide, I can trust them. I can trust RBI because They are my parent. I am a child for RBI. I am from SBI Bank. I should follow the rules of the RBI. RBI already having the logic to verify the documents. If they tell me valid, invalid, I can believe them. So when customer comes to my SBI to apply for a loan, I am going to check the eligibility by calling parent method. By calling parent method. So now it will tell me Boolean value. What is the return type? Boolean. What is the meaning of a Boolean? True or false. So if your documents verified, if you are eligible, method will say true. That means he is eligible to get the loan. If a method will say false, that person is not eligible to get the loan. So here I am writing a comment. Some logic will be available to verify the document. Based on that logic, they may return true or they may return false value. Are you guys getting my point? Yes. I am calling the method check eligibility parent method. Method is giving me status true or false. If status is true, eligible. If status is false, not eligible. If status is false, can I say return you are not eligible. You are not eligible for home loan. As per RBI rules, you are not eligible for home loan. Why? Because status I got true or false. If true, eligible, else not eligible. The person is eligible. For that person, I need to send rate of interest. If I call get home loan rate of interest, okay, get home loan rate of interest, get personal loan rate of interest. When I call get home loan rate of interest, which rate of interest I will get? RBI rate of interest. But here I have a problem. I have a problem. My parent is telling me to give the loan for 10.85, but I can't give for that. My bank cannot run with that rate of interest. I want to go for my own implementation. Here there is an inheritance. Parent is available, child available. Some properties I want to take from parent, some properties I don't want to take from parent. That is called overriding. When you don't like your parent method implementation, you rewrite that method in your class. Writing the same method in the parent class and in the child class is called as overriding. Are you getting my point? Yes. Suppose if I don't write it, then what it will become? String message is equal to your loan approved with RIS home loan ROFI. Okay, I am going to return that message. Got it? Look at the method, guys. Just understand this method. Class SBI Bank extends RBI Bank. So who is a parent? Who is a child? RBI is a parent. SBI is a child. SBI extending the properties from RBI. RBI is a Reserve Bank of India. SBI is a State Bank of India. Got it? SBI should follow the principles of the RBI. Child should follow parent rules. Now, SBI people want to provide the home loans for the customers. When they are providing the home loan, they need to do some process. Directly they cannot give. That's why they have a method called apply home loan. When you want a home loan, you need to call this a method. What is the logic inside the method? They are checking the eligibility. They are calculating the rate of interest and they are telling whether you are eligible or not eligible. Taklu, stand up. Tell me, what, not you, man. You. Yeah, tell me, what is overloading? Why to go for overloading? Why to go for overloading? Tell me. Overloading will improve readability. What is overriding? Why to go for overriding? Overcome the parent method. No. Why to go for overriding? In the inheritance scenario, when we don't like our parent method implementation, we will write our own implementation in the child class. That is called overriding. Yeah, sit down. Good. So here, public string apply home loan method is available. In this home loan method, I am calling check eligibility. When I call check eligibility, is it available in my class? No. Then what it will do? It is going to call the parent class. I'm happy with their implementation. They will tell me, should I give the loan for this person or not? Should I give loan for this person or not? They will decide. If I get status as true, that means his documents verified successfully, he can get the loan. If I get false, he is not eligible. Now, if you are not eligible, directly I will send you are not eligible for home loan. You are not eligible for home loan. If status is true, yes, I want to tell rate of interest. To get the rate of interest, there is a method available. When I call this method, my method executing or parent method executing? Parent method is executing, but I don't like that. I can't go for the parent method. I don't like their implementation. I want to execute my own implementation. How to execute our own implementation? Take this method, write that method in our child class. Instead of 10.85, I will give 12.85. So get a home loan method available in the parent class, available in the child class also. Then it is called as overriding. Once again, I'm repeating. Writing the same method in parent class and in the child class is called as overriding. Why to go for overriding? When we don't want to execute our parent implementation, then we will write our own implementation. Then it is called as method overriding. Now let's execute it. Main method. Create the object for which class? SBI Bank. Bank is equal to new SBI Bank. Bank dot apply home loan. What is the return type of that method? What is the return type of this method? Apply home loan. Apply home loan. String is the return type. Can I store that into a variable? String message. String message. System.out.println. Can I print that message now? Yes. Let me run the program. What it is saying? Your loan is approved with rate of interest as 12.85. So when I call this apply for home loan, it is calling get a home loan rate of interest, check eligibility. Check eligibility it is calling as parent method. Rate of interest it is calling as child method. I want to inherit the properties, but not all. I want to inherit the properties, but not all. Some methods I like my parent implementation. For some methods I don't like. Then you will go for overriding. Are you clear with this one? What is the difference between overloading and overriding? Writing the same method with the same name and different parameters in the same class is called overloading. What is overriding? Writing same method in the parent class and in the child class is called as overriding. Why to go for loading? Why to go for riding? To improve the readability of the code, we will go for overloading. If you don't want to execute parent method implementation, then you will go for overriding. You got the clarity? Now, So whenever you go for overriding, now when I am in this apply home loan method, I'm calling get a home loan method, get a home loan rate of interest. So here it is deciding in the runtime whether it has to call this class method or it has to call parent class method in the runtime. So that's why it is called as runtime polymorphism. Okay guys, clear? Yes. What is a polymorphism? What is a polymorphism? Write a program on the method overloading. Write a program on method overriding. Understood? What is riding and what is loading? Good, clear. Now, I will show you where Java is using overloading and overriding. Can I show you that? Yes. Let me take one demo class. New class demo. Okay. I'm taking a class called demo. Right, guys? Now, let me create the object string S1 is equal to Ashok IT and string S2 is equal to Ashok IT. Okay. I'm creating, sorry, I can't do this. I'm taking a main method string S1 is equal to Ashok IT, string S2 is equal to Ashok IT. I am calling S1 dot equals of S2. I'm calling S1 dot equals of S2. What is the return type? Boolean. Whether they are equal or not equal, it will return Boolean status. Boolean status system dot out dot println. Both are equal. Both are equal. I am asking the Java to check both are equal or not. Which method I am calling to check whether they are equal or not? I am using a equals method. Very good. Now let me go for another object. SBI Bank B1 is equal to new SBI Bank. I'm creating one object. SBI Bank B2 is equal to new SBI Bank. Okay. B1 dot equals to B2. I'm calling B1 dot equals to B2. Okay. I'm getting the status here. So bank bank status, bank objects status here, string object status. String object status and bank object status both are equal. Both strings are equal, and here I'm going for both banks are equal. Both banks are equal or not, I am checking. Can I say here I am calling equals method? Can I say here I am calling equals method? Yes, I'm calling equals method. Why I am checking the equals method? To verify whether these objects are equal or not. I want to check two objects are equal or not. Here I am taking SBI bank objects. Here I am taking string objects. SBI bank objects I am taking. Here I am taking string object. If you want, I can take like this also. A string S1 is equal to new string S2 is equal to new string. SBI Bank B1 is equal to new SBI Bank, SBI Bank B2 is equal to new SBI Bank. Can I say here I am creating two objects? Can I say here I am creating two objects? Yes, here I am creating two objects. Here I am creating two objects. What I am doing here? Whether these two SBI bank objects are same or not, I am checking by using equals method. Here what I am doing? Whether string objects are same or not, I am checking. Now, when I run this program, see what is the output. false and true. Why not true, true? Why not false, false? Method is same na. That is the point. When I compare two objects, it should say both objects are same or it should say both objects are false. But what is the output I am getting? False to true. For SBI Bank, it is saying false. But for string objects, it is saying true. Understand my point? The difference is C. Now we need to, now you will get more clarity on the overriding. This is my heap area. This is my heap area. What is my first line? SBI Bank object I am creating. Can I say this is one object called B1? This is one object called B1. This is one object which is called B1 and this is one object which is called B2. B1 is available, B2 is available. I am calling B1 dot equals B2. So what is the meaning of that? I am checking B1 object is equals to B2 or not. I'm checking B1 dot equals to B2. B1 is what? What is B1? Reference variable holding which class object? SBI Bank. Go to SBI Bank. Is there any method available called equals method? In the SBI Bank, do we have equals method or not? Can I say equals is a instance method, object dot method? Come on, man. Yes, B1 is a SBI Bank object variable. So when I call B1 dot equals B2, what the JVM will do? Check in the class. Does this method is available in the class or not? It will check in the SBI Bank. In the SBI Bank, do I have equals method? Do I have equals method? No. Is it throwing the error? It is not available. When the method is not available in the class, what JVM will do? Does this class having a direct parent? Yesterday topic is that only, right? When the method is not available in the class, what JVM will do? Be alert. What JVM will do? It will check in the direct parent. Does this class having a direct parent? Yes. What is the direct parent? RBI Bank. In the RBI Bank, do I have equals method? No. Then what it will do? It will go for the parent, indirect parent. What is that? Object. Go to object class and check. Go to object class and check. Do we have equals method in the class? Check that. Do we have equals method in the class? Java.lang. In the Java.lang we have object class. Go to object class. Check. Do we have equals method? Yes, we have a equals method. What is the return type? Boolean. What this method will do? Indicates whether some other object is equal to this object or not. Go to this equals method. Indicates whether objects are equal or not. Now, can you read this? Equals method for the implements the most discriminating possible equivalence, non-null references values. This method returns true if and only if x and y refer to the same object as the value true. If this B1, B2 refer to the same object, then only it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. What is happening here is when the B1 object created, it is assigning one hash code. When B2 object created, assigned one hash code. When you call the equals method, it is comparing hash code. Now, 3454 double equals to 3454 double equals to 4544. Equals or not equal? Not equal. So when I call the equals method on the bank object, it is comparing hash code of the object. So two objects will have two different hash code. So that's why for the bank objects we are getting false value. Are you guys getting my point? I am calling B1 dot equals to B2. What is B1? What is B1 here? B1 is a variable holding which class object? SBI Bank object. Do we have equals method in the SBI Bank? Do you have equals method in the SBI Bank? Not available. Whenever I call B1 dot equals of B2, first JVM will go to SBI Bank class, will check for equals method. Available or not available? Not available. Then it will check for the parent, RBI Bank. Do we have equals method in the RBI? No. Then it will go for object. Do we have equals in the object? Yes. What is the implementation of the equals? It will compare address of the object, or it will compare hash code of the object. Two objects created, that means two hash codes will be available. Hash codes are not same. That's why they are not equal. That's why they are not equal. Are you getting my point? Now, so you understood why we are getting false here? Why we are getting false? It is compares address of objects. It is comparing address of the object. Every object will have a unique address. Every object will have a unique address. Very good. Now let's go for these two lines. What I am doing here? What I am doing here? I'm creating two objects. Can I call them S1 and S2? Can I call them as S1 and S2? Yes. This is one object belongs to string class. It is S1. This is one object belongs to string class. This is S2. For this object, one hash code is available. For this object, one hash code is available. Hash codes are same. Hash codes are not same. Hash codes are not same, but still we are getting output as true. That is why. Understand. Now I have a string class. Can I say string is one predefined class? Can I say string is one predefined class? For every Java class, what is the super class? What is the super class? Object. So here object is acting as a super. String is extending the properties from object. Here also, when you see this, okay, here I have SBI Bank. SBI Bank available. For SBI Bank, what is the super class? What is the super class? RBI Bank is acting as a super class for SBI. For RBI Bank, what is the super class? Object. Okay. Now come here. This is my SBI Bank and this is my RBI Bank and this is my object. SBI Bank is extending from RBI. RBI is extending from object. When I call B1 dot equals to B2, which class equals method is calling? Object class. When I call B1 dot equals of B2, which class method is calling? First it is checking B1 is a variable belongs to SBI object. It is checking for equals method in the SBI Bank, not available. Then go for parent RBI Bank. Do you have equals in the RBI? Not available. Go for parent object. Object is having equals method. It is executing object class equals method. Can I say there is the inheritance? What inheritance available? Multi-level. SBI extending from RBI, RBI extending from object. Finally, object class equals method executed. Object class equals method always will compare address of the object. Always address will be unique. That's why the result is false. Those two objects are not equal. That is false. Now, let's come to here. String S1 is equal to new string. String S2 is equal to new string. Here also two objects created, S1, S2. The objects created in the heap area. Objects created in the heap area. Why? New operator. String objects also created in the heap area. For two objects, hash code is same or hash code is different. Hash code is different, but output is coming as true. It is saying that both are same. But for SBI, it is saying both are not same. But for string, it is saying both are same. Now I am calling S1 dot equals of S2. I'm calling S1 dot equals of S2. Now, what is the S1? By what is the S1? S1 is a variable holding which class object? String class object. Now JVM will check for equals method in the which class? Come on, man. I'm calling S1 dot equals of S2. Where it will check for that method? S1 is a variable belongs to string class. So first it will check in the string class. Can we check string class having the equals method? Go to string class. Go to string class. See, do we have equals method in the string class? We have the equals. When the stringo class having the equals method, it will call the stringo class equals or it will call object class equals? Stringo class equals method it will call. Can I say string is overriding the equals method? Stringo class don't want to compare the address. Stringo class want to compare the content. So stringo class is overriding the equals method. Whenever you call equals method with the SBI Bank does not have equals. RBI Bank does not have equals. Directly object class equals method called. But string is a child, object is a parent. Child don't want to execute the parent implementation. Parent equals always will compare address. I don't want to compare address. Stringo class want to compare content of the object. They are overriding the equals method. Whenever you call S1 dot equal, stringo class equals method executed. Stringo class equals method always will compare content of the object. Object class equals method will compare address of the object. Can I say it is a overriding? Yes. Here also we have equals method. Here we have equals method. Here we have equals method. Here it will compare address. Here it will compare content. Why string is overriding equals? Why string is overriding?
It is having
why string is overriding equals? Stringo don't want to execute the parent method. Stringo don't like the parent. Arey why? Parent method will compare address. I don't want to compare address. I want to compare content. When I don't like my parent method implementation, what I will do? I will override. So this is one of the best example for overriding. Stringo class is overriding equals method. Object class having the equals. String also having the equals. Stringo equals will compare content. Object equals will compare address. So what is overriding? When we don't want to execute parent method, then you will override that method in the child class. Why to go for overriding? I want to execute my own logic, not my parent logic. I want to execute my own logic, not my parent logic. That's why I'm going for overriding. Now you understand the concept. Why we are getting false true as output? Now why here we are getting false? It is checking the address. In the both scenarios, I'm calling equals only. In both scenarios, I'm checking equals only. How compiler will understand? I am calling my equals or object class equals. Compiler don't know. Who will decide that? Runtime. JVM will decide that when to call the child class method, when to call the parent class method. JVM will decide in the runtime. That's why it is called as runtime polymorphism. Method overriding is the example for runtime polymorphism. Are you clear? All the doubts clarified? So good. Overloading and overriding. Damn sure interview question for freshers. What is overloading? What is overriding? When to go for overloading? When to go for overriding? If anybody asks you what is overriding, can you explain this example? String class. Is it following overriding? Yes. String class having overloaded methods and overridden methods also. Can I call substring as a overloading method? Yes. See here. Go to the string class. Check the substring method. See, hash code also they are overriding. String class is having hash code. String class having hash code. Object class also having the hash code. What is that meaning? Overriding. Whatever the methods available in the object class, same methods available in the string class also. Some of the methods. String is overriding. Now, can I write one more example? Can I write one more thing here? Yeah. I'm going to write system.out.println b1.toString. What I'm writing? b1.toString. Here I'm going to write system.out.println s1.toString. Okay. What is the method I am calling? What is the method I am calling? ToString. b1.toString. What it will do? Come on, man. What it will do? When I call b1.toString, first it will check in the SBI. In the SBI, do I have the toString? Do I have toString in the SBI? No. Then what it will do? Parent. Does it have toString? No. Then what it will do? Object. Do we have toString in the object class? Check it. Check it. Do we have toString method in the object? Yes, it is available. Okay. Execute this program. Check the output. What is this? No, not a hash code. ToString method output. It is the output of the ToString method. When I call b1.toString, I got this output. When I call s1.toString, I am getting this output. Why? ToString method is giving some output in the object class. String class ToString method will print content of the object. Getting my point? So string class don't like its parent implementation. That's why they are overriding the methods. Hash code method, equals method, ToString method, all the methods are overridden in the string class. So here in our example, RBI Bank is having a home loan interest. SBI Bank also having a home loan interest. Why? Overriding. I don't want to go for parent implementation. I want to write my own implementation. That's why I'm going for overriding. Are you clear? Yes. Look at this code once. Class RBI Bank. Take a Boolean check eligibility. Get home loan double value. Get personal loan double value. Check eligibility. Double home loan, double personal loan. Now, SBI Bank is extending from RBI Bank. I am overriding. Here I can say I am overriding parent method to give my own rate of interest. To give my own rate. I don't like that because it is being lost for me. I don't like that. That's why I am overriding. So when I call check eligibility, which method will be called? Parent method. Here which method will be called? Child method will be called because overriding. Now when I call, what is the code is available in this 36 line number? 36 line number. SBI Bank is equal to new SBI Bank dot apply home loan. What I am doing? I'm creating the object. I'm calling the method. Why I am creating the object to call the method? It is an instance method. To call the instance method, object is required. To call the instance method, object is required. When I call this method, what will happen? Logic will execute. What is the logic in this method? I am calling check eligibility. Is that method one? This is instance method. This also instance method. So parent class method we can call directly in the child class. When I call check eligibility, first it will check in the SBI. Do you have this method in the child? Check eligibility method. Where I am calling, man. Apply home loan is a child class method or parent class method? Child class method. Apply home loan is a child class method. Inside the apply home loan, I am calling check eligibility method. Check eligibility is available in the child class, not available in the child class, not available. But it will check in the child class. If it is available, it will call, but not available. Then what will happen? Check in the parent. Do we have that method in the parent? Yes, it is available in the parent. It is going to call parent class method. It will call the parent class method. What it is returning? Boolean. Can I store that Boolean value into a variable? This is my parent method. Parent method returning a Boolean value. It is storing into a variable. Boolean means true or false. If it is true, I will execute this logic. If it is false, I will return this value. Parent method returning Boolean. My method returning string. So if it is true, I am getting the home loan rate of interest. Home loan rate of interest, my method is calling or parent method is calling. Get home loan, my method is calling or parent method is calling? My method, child method is calling. Why child method is calling? Overriding. I'm getting the rate of interest. I'm storing into a variable. I'm returning the variable. So I am calling the method here. Now let me run the program with the debug. You will get more clarity. Okay. Let me go for debug. Debug as Java application. Program execution will start from where? Program execution always will start from the main method. Main method is the entry point for execution. Main method is entry point for execution. Inside the main method, what is the first line? Object creation. What is the meaning of object creation? Object creation nothing but allocating the memory. Object is created for parent class or for child class? Object is created for child class. Now go to next line. What I am doing in the next line? Come on, man. I'm calling the
Calling the
method
method.
bank dot apply home loan. What is a bank? Bank is a variable holding which class object? SBI class
SBI.
object. It is a child class object. So it will check for this method in the child class. Do we have that method in the child class? Yes or no? Then directly it is going to child class method. What I am doing in the child class? I am calling another method. What is that method? Check eligibility. Where it will check? In the first day, where it will check? When you call a method, first it will check
Child
current
class.
class. So
Current
check
class.
eligibility method available in the current class or not
No.
available in the current class?
Not
Not
available.
Available. Then what will
Not
happen?
available.
Check in the parent. Do we have that in the parent? Yes. What
Yes.
that parent method is doing? Checking the
Checking the-
verification, doing the verification, and what it is doing finally?
True.
Returning the Boolean value. True or false?
Yes.
If documents are correct, return true. If documents are incorrect, return false value. What it is doing now? It is returning true.
True.
Boolean. To whom? Who is calling that method? Child class is calling the parent method. Can I say reusability? Child
Yes.
is not rewriting. Child is just calling. There is a reusability. That method returned true. I am storing that to true into a variable.
Variable.
What is the value in the status? True.
True.
If it is true, what will happen? Loan is approved. If it is false, loan is denied. Now, if the status is true, condition satisfied, it will go inside. What I am doing inside that? I am calling the method again. What method I am calling? Get home loan rate of interest. When I call this method, where it will check?
Current
Child
class.
class. Do we have that method in the child? Yes, it is there
Yes.
in the child. It is there in the parent also. But which one will be called?
Child
Child.
class.
Why? Overriding. Overriding. I don't want to execute my parent method. Parent is giving 10%. I want to go for 12%. So it will execute only child method. Now go inside that method. What that method is returning? Double value. It is returning a double value. That double value I'm storing into one variable. Then finally I'm preparing one message. What I'm doing in this message? I'm just returning the message. Who called this method? Who called this method? Main method. Otherwise, who is calling this method? Main method. What that method is returning? String value. So main method will get that string value. What is that string? Loan is approved with the rate of interest. What my main method doing with the string value? Printing on the console. Just it is printing on the console. Understood how it is executing? Good. Now, in this scenario, why we are getting false here? In this scenario, why we are getting false here? And why we are getting true here?
False we are getting because it is checking the address
Here
of
it is false. Here it is
object.
true. Why?
True.
Object class equals method will compare address of the object. String class equals method will compare content of the
Content of the
object.
object.
That is also an interview question. What is the difference between object class equals method and string class equals method? Are you clear? Yes. Guys, see, we are able to write 35 lines of code. Is it difficult? Difficult or easy?
No,
Easy.
it's easy.
The day when we started first, we don't know how to write a 5 lines of code also. But today we are able to write 35 lines of code. So there is a improvement. There is a improvement. Slowly it should become 50. It should become 100, 200, 500, 1000. You should be able to write like that. हाँ? क्या सर? Come on. Object class equals method will compare.
Address.
Address
Object
of
class
the
equals
object.
method will compare address of the objects. Whereas string class equals method.
Will
String
compare
class equals method will compare content
Content
of
of
the
content of the
objects.
object.
Content of the objects.
Object.
So note, string class is overriding. String class overriding equals method. Equals method is available in the object class also, as well as in the equals method available in the string also. Object class equals method will compare address. String class equals method will compare content. That means string is doing overriding.
Overriding.
So you can understand overloading, overriding in the string. Substring method is a overloaded
Overriding.
method. Equals method is a overridden method. Same class, two methods with the same name, different parameters, overloading. Same method in the parent class and in the child class. It is called overriding. Are you clear with this one? Any questions? Okay. Perfect, guys. Object class equals method will compare address of the objects, whereas string class equals method will compare content of the object. And toString also same, equals also same, hash code also same. String is overriding object class methods because string want to execute its own logic, not the parent logic. That's why it is doing overriding. Clear? Good. So with this we completed polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. What is encapsulation? Combining the variables and methods as a single unit. Combining variables and methods as a single unit is called as encapsulation. Class is the example for encapsulation. Private variables, public methods, setter methods, getter methods we are going to write. We want to achieve the security and we want to achieve reusability. To achieve the security, variables I am declaring as a private, methods I am writing as a public. Next one. After encapsulation, we discussed about inheritance. What is the meaning of inheritance? Come on. Extending the properties from one class to another class is called inheritance. What is the main aim of the inheritance? Code reusability is the main aim of the inheritance. There are several types of inheritances: single level, multi-level, hierarchical, multiple. Java does not support for multiple. Why Java does not support for multiple? Ambiguity, confusion. If one child having two parents, always it is a confusion. First parent method should be called or second parent method should be called. It is a ambiguity. That's why Java does not support for multiple inheritance. Can one parent have multiple childs? Yes, that is called hierarchical. What is a single level? If one class having only one parent, that is single level. What is a multi-level? Child, parent, grandparent will be available. Object class is the default superclass for all the classes in the Java. So child class objects can access child class methods. It's a direct parent, it's an indirect parent. Object may be direct parent for your class or indirect parent for your class. Now, when the object will become a direct parent, when the object will become a indirect parent, when the object will become direct parent, when the object will become indirect parent, come on. When the class does not have a parent, then object will become direct. When our class having a parent, object will become indirect. Can you see public class string extends object? What is the meaning of that? String class extends object. What is the meaning of that? String class is acting as a child for the object. That means string class is extending the properties from the object class. Let's go for system class. Can you go for system class? What is this? Extends object. Can you go for process builder? Same. Can you go for math? What is the meaning? Every class is acting as a child for the object. Object is a default parent for all the Java classes, either your class or predefined class for any Java class, whether it is our user defined class or whether it is a predefined class, object class will become super by default parent. Whatever the methods available in the object, directly we can call. In the inheritance, child class always can access parent methods, parent properties, but parent cannot access child method. Child method means child class can access its own properties and it can access parent properties also. The main aim of the inheritance is code reusability. Okay. After that, we discussed about Polymorphism. What is a polymorphism? If one object is exhibiting multiple behaviors based on the situation, then it is called polymorphism. Polymorphism divided into two types: static polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism. Method overloading is example for static polymorphism. Method overriding is example for dynamic polymorphism. What is overloading? What is overloading? Writing the same method with different parameters with the same name in the same class is called overloading. What is the advantage of overloading? Code readability. Code readability. Two methods are doing the same operation. That's why I'm giving the same name. Readability is the main advantage of the overloading. Next, what is overriding? Writing the same method in the parent class and in the child class is called overriding. Why to go for overriding? When we don't want our parent method implementation, we will override with our own logic. That is called overriding. When you go for overriding, object will decide in the runtime which method to call. That's why it is called runtime polymorphism. When you go for overloading, object will decide which method to call at the compile time. That's why it is called compile time polymorphism or static polymorphism. Now, can you tell me in the predefined classes, which class have both overloaded methods and overriding methods? String class. In the string class, which method is the overloaded method? Substring. How can you say it is overloaded? Substring can take one parameter and it can take two parameters. Same method with different parameters in the same class. That is called overloading. What is the example for overriding in the string? Equals method, toString method, hash code method. What is the difference between object class equals method, string class equals method? Object class equals method will compare content of the objects. Object class equals will compare address of the object. String class equals will compare content of the object. That is the best example for overloading and overriding. Clear? Easy? Difficult? Easy. Good. Yeah. Look at this program. Demo class. I have given in the notes also, but just see that. Almost done. There is one simple concept available, that is abstraction. Huh? See, here I am comparing objects. SBI Bank object 1, SBI Bank object 2. B1 dot equals of B2 false because SBI Bank does not have the equals method. So it will call the parent class equals, that is object class equals. It will compare address. False because it compares address. True because it compares content. Why here it is comparing address? Why it is comparing content? String class is overriding the equals method. String don't like the parent implementation. That's why it is executing its own implementation. That is called overriding. Now look at the bank. Maybe some people get confused. Sir, itna code likha kya bhai? So this is a class. This is one method which is having a Boolean return type. this is one method which is having a double. Just I'm writing a normal methods with return type. That's it. Check eligibility. It is returning a Boolean value. Get to home loan, returning a double value. Coming to the SBI Bank. SBI Bank extending from RBI Bank, and it is overriding the parent method to give my own rate of interest. Then I am writing one method called apply home loan. Inside the apply home loan, what I am doing? Calling parent method here, calling our own method. Calling our own method overriding. So I am apply loan method. It is my class method. It is calling parent method. It is calling child method. Parent method is giving Boolean value. Based on the Boolean value, I am calling my child method. Child method giving a double value. That string plus double I am concatenating, and I am returning the final value as a string. So whatever the string I am getting, I am printing that string. Just methods. Methods are most important. Is there anything apart from methods? So to become a good programmer, you should have strong knowledge on the methods. When to write a method, how to write the method, what parameter, what return type, that everything we are going to decide by using methods only. Perfect. Yeah, thank you guys. With this, I'm stopping for today. We'll continue in the tomorrow session.